G'day, I've got a little bit of a follow-up regarding the shop advice I gave out in a previous video. So, another thing I've learned over time in small business is generally with being honest with your customers, usually gets a bit of trust there. But also, in the same regard is, you don't always have to do a sale. It doesn't always have to be an instant sale straight away. You might have someone come in, you might have one computer on the floor, you might have a $2,000 gaming computer sitting there. Might have an elderly couple come in and they go, "Oh yeah, we want a computer, we just want a web browse." And you go, "Oh, I can sell you this, but it's not what you require. I can sell you a considerably cheaper machine. I don't have it in right now. Give me a week. I'll have a much cheaper machine, a lot more suited for what you require, and that's going to save you a fair bit of money there." The customer very well may go, "Sure, I'll still take that machine just because it's here and we want it now." If they do, brilliant. You gave them the way out to not purchase that expensive machine. If you railroad them in and put them directly to an expensive sale, and then one of their friends or family members goes, "Why did you buy that? You don't need that. You got scammed. You didn't need to buy that." Then who's going to look like the asshole? You're going to look like the asshole. So always give your customer the options and try and sell them what they actually require, not what they think they need. There's two very different things there. Yet people come in and they go, "Oh, I need a gaming computer." "Oh sure, what do you want to play?" "Oh, I want to play Game Boy Color emulators." Well, you can play that on anything. Sell them what they need, not what they think they want. If you're good enough at your role and you know your technology, you know what you're selling, you should be able to point them in the right direction for something that would suit what they need at potentially the cheapest possible price, if not the step above if they're willing or wanting to spend that. So definitely let your customers know that there is, just because there's something there, it doesn't mean they necessarily need it. I also have plenty of people come in and go, "Oh, I need a 2TB hard drive in my computer." "Oh sure, what do you need to save?" "Oh, just Word documents and web browsing." You do not need that. Plenty of times I've had people come in and say they do need a 2TB drive in their computer or larger, and in reality the current computer they've used 50 gig. They do not need that at all. So I find that you could try and upsell. Personally I don't believe in doing that. I believe that's bad business. You let them know of the options that they could step up to, but say, "I would recommend getting this one because it suits your needs perfectly fine, and it's at the cheapest point possible, that it's still good, fast, reliable." So I find that doing that, you end up gaining trust with the customer ends up getting confidence in you as a salesman, as a repairman, and in the future they're more than likely to listen to most recommendations that you have. For example, I had a lady, I built her a computer probably about 3 years ago, and that computer's now or probably longer than that, about 5 years ago I've had dealings with her. Her recent computer started to fail, I believe it was the mainboard on the way out, and I said, "There's a computer up here, it's $1,000, it's going to exceed everything you want it to do, it's going to be nice, zippy, plenty of storage, decent screen on it." And she goes, "I'll take it." I said, "What I can do is I'll print off the information for you, have a think about it overnight, and get back to me tomorrow." She goes, "Nah, I trust you. You've steered me in the right path every other time we've had dealings." So she was more than happy to purchase that machine, which was perfectly suited for what she needed. Another thing with business is, I find your pricing structure. Do you choose to have cheaper labour or more expensive parts? Some places pick both. I tend to quote on the complete job to the customer. So they might come in and go, "I've got a dead hard drive, how much will it be to replace it?" I say, "Well, I would use this part, it would take me this long to do it, and this is what I need to do. It will cost $130 at the end of this job. That job may take me an hour and a half to complete, it might take me 2 days to complete." But the customer has the confidence that what I quoted at the start is going to be the price that they're paying at the end. So I tend to, with my phone repairs, to stagger the price towards more expensive parts and cheaper labour, all up in the job. purely for the fact of if someone comes in and said they want to buy a screen off me, I make a little bit more money there. It's extremely rare that anyone comes in wanting to buy a part, but I do get that once every 6 months or so. You might have someone that just broke their phone, they know how to repair it, and they want their phone fixed today. They don't want to pay me to do it, they know how to do it. I'll happily buy a slightly marked up phone screen, or sell a slightly marked up phone screen to them. But I'll go, hey, for me to install it, you're probably looking at about another $20. Would you like me to do it? Some people say yes, some people say no, but that's how I tend to structure my pricing, at least with the phone screen repairs. The computer side of things, usually there's a bit of markup on everything, that it's enough for me to keep everything in stock, and I can drop the price a little bit if it depreciates over time. But I still usually end up making a profit out of it. And also, if someone comes in and says, I want a computer today, I want that part, that part, that part, that part, I can grab it all and go, okay. And usually I would assemble it for free for the customer. So some places might charge $100, some might charge $50. I tend to not charge at all, unless they want data copied from an old computer to the new computer. Then I usually slap on about $50 to do that. So yeah, you do have to think about these things. Like, you could essentially sell your screens at cost price and charge an exorbitant amount in labour, or you could mark up your screens like I do and have cheaper labour. So it all depends on that balance. But I usually find it comes back to letting the customer know exactly what they're going to pay at the end. There's plenty of times where I've quoted a customer, how much for this screen? $100. Annual fitment? Yeah, that's included. And tempered glass? Yes, that's also included as well. The simple thing of putting tempered glass on the phone screen after, it's an extremely cheap part, especially if you buy it in bulk. And plenty of people get a nice surprise and they go, oh, I got my phone screen fixed and I got tempered glass on my phone after. So they get a nice little unexpected bonus at the end. Yes, it is factored into the invoice. So I'll have the price breakdown, I'll have the part, my labour, and I'll have the tempered glass. But I will give them the price right at the start just for the repair. So $100 repair, turns out that repair was really $90 on the invoice and $10 for tempered glass. Except they just knew they were getting their phone fixed for $100 and they've somehow got tempered glass on there as a bonus that wasn't actually discussed. So neat little things like that keep your customer, well, I find the term is under promise and over deliver. Definitely try and do that. If you can have the customer have their expectation that you're going to do this and you'd end up doing this, you're going to have a much happier customer that's either A, going to come straight to you in the future, refer friends to you, so that's essentially free advertising. So even the over delivering doesn't have to be much. The simple fact is, your screen was dirty, so your phone screen or your laptop screen was covered in grime, so I cleaned it up before I used it. You open it up for the customer to show them what you've done, the original work. So let's say you just had to install some software and they come back and their screen's looking brand new. That's a simple thing of under promising but over delivering on what you've done. They didn't expect that, it's now done, they can notice it, they can see the difference, they didn't even ask for it. So that's another good way to keep customers coming back to you. Even if it's a simple thing that takes 3 seconds, I find if I'm replacing a hard drive in a laptop, I'll typically give it an air blowout with an air compressor, blow out the copper fins in there, give the fan a bit of a clean. Depending on the age of the machine, I may also replace the thermal paste, but I go to the customer, I was already in there, I was already giving it a clean. You might have noticed it was getting a bit noisy, it shouldn't be doing that now. They're going to be much happier, especially with the small noticeable things. You might do the extreme technical things, like let's say you tightened up all the hinges, you put in the extra screws that fell out of the machine when the customer's been using it. They're not really going to notice it. You know about it, you know why they all should be there, you know why those hinges should be tight. But the simple fact of if you just clean the screen, clean the keyboard, or blew out the dust so it's quieter, those things are noticeable with virtually any customer. So yeah, definitely try to under promise and over deliver. Keep an eye on your stock prices, whether or not you want to go more expensive parts and cheaper labour, or the other way, or if you're greedy you can go both. Yeah, so a bit more tech advice, a bit more computer repair and phone repair advice. I hope this helps you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye.